Good morning. My name is Ken Lassison. I wrote Microbiome prescription website, and I'm going to take a walkthrough of a recently refactor. Some of you are aware that the site has been up for a number of years, and many of the features were added bit by bit by bit. And lately, I've been working hard on consistency between how things are done on one page versus another page, so that hey, things are consistent. And so there's lots of cleaning up, lots of things break, lots of things stop working. This particular item was something which somebody very nicely kept bugging me to get working again. So I got it working, and actually I'm very pleased with the result and moved it from being a research features up to a special studies. Special studies means using annotated symptoms on samples. So if we go in here and click, here we see this new section at the top, which is identifying bacteria for a specific set of symptoms. All the items here below are saying, okay, we are going to pick the bacteria associated with this one and add it to the bacteria associated with this condition and add it to the bacteria associated with this condition, removing duplicates. But basically, it's a aggregation. This one doesn't do an aggregation. It says, okay, you got these 4 symptoms. We have these people. With the people with these 4 symptoms, what do they have in common with each other? So that it is very much more a drill down rather than an aggregation. So that instead of one saying instead of keeping adding things to a list, we take the list from the first one and we say, okay, what does the second list have in common? And we do what's called a intersection between lists rather than a union between lists for those who are mathematically done. So it's sitting here. Again, these basically add up the conditions, the bacteria from each one of the conditions in isolation. This one doesn't. So we go over here and we see we have all the symptoms. You do not need to have pre-entered your symptoms, which makes life easy for some people who don't want to enter symptoms or whatever, but please enter symptoms. Okay, so let's take one of them. We could just click that. You only pick one at a time and add it to the list. And voila, we now have the list of bacteria. You can see the, got something to fix there. Everything should be shifted one over. I'll fix that. And we have, these are the bacteria associated with it. And the percentage here is, the reason you have it is that these bacteria are too high and these bacteria are too low. And this magic number here is called chi-square. The higher the number, the more statistically significant it is. Okay, now what we're going to do is go down and add in another symptom. Now we have 2 symptoms, and you can see that we have these 4 bacteria are the ones which people who have both the symptoms, these are the bacteria which are statistically significant between the 2. If we add in something like brain fog, we get down to just 1. So for that combination of symptoms, we only have 1 bacteria is there. If we go and toss in 1 more, what? Because of that additional 1, we ended up actually getting more bacteria. It ends up being a little bit of a, wait a minute, how can you, with less symptoms, with less symptoms, I only had 1. With 1 more symptoms, I had more. And there's a fair amount of explanation that could be done about it, but basically, it's when we gather them and look for it. Sometimes the extra symptoms causes something to bubble to the surface, a particular bacteria, which is why this is sweet. I mean, it is sweet. And if we go and add 1 more, now we're down to 2. And we can keep adding it. In some cases may go down, in some cases may go up. It went back up. And now we see 1 here. And we have quite a list of symptoms here. But notice the chi-square number keeps going down. which is not unexpected. We still have some. Let's see how far we can go. We can press. We still have some. I'm impressed. Let's take something like snoring. Oops. Finally. Found nothing. Undo last change. I can go back one, and that's there. But if I want to go back further, I can just click here, and it will keep taking you back further. Nice and easy, so you can go backwards or forwards with symptoms and seeing all the glorious changes. Okay, so let's go back one more here, and at this point of time, you say, okay, that's nice, but I want to get suggestions now. What do you do? Very simple. It moves it over, and now you can go and directly get suggestions, and you can specify what you want to do. And you get a 15 bacteria listed there, and you get your suggestions. And they, of course, automatically get added to your consensus here. So in this case, the sample I'm working with, we have 35, but that's fair enough. So that's all of it. It is a sweet thing because it will identify bacteria which are occurring only with people with a particular combination of symptoms. And as you can see, it almost gets a little bit bizarre because the more symptoms you add, in some cases, the more bacteria that will suddenly show up, which are extremely specific to the person with this collection of symptoms. So that's it. Now, one other thing I should mention is if you go to the page and there is nothing listed, then the reason is we do not have sufficient samples with symptoms for the lab which is being used. Generally, Biomesight and Ombre are the ones which has lots of data. uBiome is good, but almost all other labs we just don't have enough samples with annotations, and we need bare minimum of probably 100 to 150 people with samples, of which probably at least half should have annotated in order to be able to do it. So that's why this page may be blank for some people. Okay, that's it. Enjoy.